welcome to the Movie Throne. I'm your host, the one and only King Kansas, here to bring you another movie review recommendation video. Guys, I hope you guys have been checking our content. Our Movie Throne podcast is back. It debuted a couple of weeks ago, I think Thursday, but now you'll be able to catch it every Thursday moving forward with myself and the one and only Mr. Movies, Dr. Movies, whatever you want to call him. He's there with me, and cool stuff coming your way. Cool content. Like always, like, share, and subscribe. Check out our other content. You know the drill. You know the gig. Other movie recommendations, whatever, under the sun, and of course the podcast Outlaws that should be debuting very soon. I'll just leave it at that. Or already has, depending on when you guys see this video. So, anyways, I blabbed long enough. So what movie review recommendation am I doing in this particular video? There you go. Gran Torino, starring Clint Eastwood. I can't even speak. That's how excited to talk about this movie. Guys, I don't think personally, and I don't know if you guys will agree with me or not, probably one of Clint Eastwood's best films he's produced, and probably maybe one of the best 10 or top 10 movies I've seen in the last decade, to tell you the truth. If you guys haven't seen this, boy, you guys are in for something phenomenal, in my opinion. Storytelling is unbelievable and off the hook. But like always, let me give you my non-spoiler review first, and reason why you should watch this based on my recommendations, and I'll do a spoiler with a few key details of why I love this movie and why I recommend it to all you guys. So here we go. Okay, so Gran Torino. It's directed by Clint Eastwood. It was released December 12th, 2008, almost 12 years ago. It stars Clint Eastwood, Vang, Christopher Carley, Ahney, Brian Haley, Geraldine Hughes, Dreama Walker, Brian Howe, John Carroll Lynch. Who else is there? There is Cory. Oh my God. Hardrict. Nana Gbewonyo. Hopefully I pronounced that. Moua. He's the douchebag spider cousin. And I was surprised. I don't know. I gotta triple check this. Scott Eastwood, his son, is in here as well. So it's about an hour and 50-something minutes, guys, to tell you the truth. And like I said, wow. Two reasons why I recommend it. One, he reminded my grandfather, because my grandfather is this kind of person that he's old, set in his own ways, and doesn't care about what the rest of the world thinks. He thinks the rest of the world is nuts, and whatever he goes and says and believes is the right thing. So this is kind of like the basic characteristics of Clint Eastwood's character in this, okay? He's an old vet who went to fight in the war, works for the Ford plant, and I think he's recently retired. And we start the movie with something tragic happens to him. He loses his wife. I'm not going to spoil it too much. So that's what you see at the beginning of the film, him trying to deal with the whole losing his wife scenario and a whole bunch of other stuff, right? So amazing characters. There's a younger priest who comes and kind of tries to befriend him, and he's like looking at him, you're a priest, I'm supposed to listen to you. So he kind of kicks him out, like seriously, kicks him out. His area, his house is pristine condition. He lives in a neighborhood that used to be good at one point, but now has kind of gone to the shits. You got gangs who've kind of moved into the area, or kind of people like immigrants and stuff to kind of take over it, and everything is pretty much shit. Like, it looks bad. Like, literally, when you watch the movie, you'll know exactly what I mean. He believes in taking care of his car, his house, his property, you name it, the works. Doesn't like anything to go bad, and he does so. Then there's this new family that moves in next to him. I don't know if the family, the person who owned the house next to him, had to go to the old retirement age home because he couldn't take care of himself. That kind of sets him off a little bit. And they move in, and it's an Asian family who, I don't know if they're from, they're Hmong. That's all I know. I don't know if they're from Vietnam or something like that. And he has a thing against them because he fought during them, with them, or against them during the Vietnam War, I think it was, or some one of those wars the Korean War or something like that. So he has a thing against them. So he's a little bit prejudiced and a little bit racist. Be warned, there is touchy material in this. There's a lot of racial prejudice remarks made towards certain nationalities, from Chinese people, black people, you name it, the works. And it comes from Clint Eastwood. But it's done in a very fragile, delicate way that it needs to be told or used in order to progress the storyline and to kind of explain Clint Eastwood's character to the rest of us. But it has impact, trust me. It starts off like that, and then you can kind of slowly see Clint Eastwood transition out of that kind of like selfish son of a bitch kind of mentality that, you know what, he has a thing against Asian people and stuff, because his wall starts to come down slowly. So he's very protective at the beginning. He doesn't want to have anything to do with the family next door. He wants to keep to himself, do what he has to do, not be bothered by the priest. Go visits his barber buddy, which is unfreaking. There's an amazing scene that you guys will see for yourself, and I'll kind of blur that out later on. I'll explain in the spoiler section because that's one of my favorite reasons. Like little small touches like that are phenomenal. But he starts with one way with this Asian family next door, and they kind of slowly befriend him, and he kind of slowly pulls his wall down, and he kind of gets to know him better. And through getting to know him better, it changes his mentality towards not only them, but the Asian culture general, because it's a little bit of a misunderstanding. But he learns to kind of get close to him, and then of course, like always, things don't go as well. You got the gangster trying to get into his neighborhood that he kind of has a beef with them. He feels the need to kind of like protect them. So it's kind of like going down one way. You think it's going to be some sort of gang related movie, but it isn't. But it does have elements of that, you know. And by the end of the film, he gets very close to the Asian family next door, and something happens at the end. So it kind of comes full circle. But every single portion or facet of this movie, you got to pay attention. There's not one boring scene of the film, because everything that Clint Eastwood is directing and producing and showing you on the screen is for a reason. It's shot beautifully. Like all the storylines meld very well in together, and it concludes very nicely. And it's freaking sad at the end. I'll tell you right now, it brought a tear to my damn eye. I'm not scared to tell you. There's a reason why I like this movie, and I think there's a reason why you guys will like this movie. You know, sure, it's touchy, you know, feely subject material here and there that nowadays people get all upset, but it was something that needed to be told so you can all learn from it. So, you know, I learned something from it, you know, and I'm not perfect angel, but I did learn and got something out of it. And it also kind of brought me closer to people that you guys might even know, like my grandfather. Like this kind of like, that's my grandfather. A little bit misunderstood by not only his family, but other people too. And you kind of say, okay, it's closed and narrow-minded. And, you know, all it takes is people from the other side to kind of like, you know, put up with a little bit of BS to break down the walls so they can kind of see the whole picture, you know, that the world's changed and not everybody's bad that you once thought, or vice versa. You just got to find the time to get to know each other and stop going on these stupid devices that we kind of like further distance ourselves and desensitize ourselves from serious matters and shit. You got stuff done, you got to get your hands dirty. That's all there is to it. You can't expect the next person to tell someone else to do something and get things changed in the world. You got to do the legwork. So, but I highly recommend it. It's a good storyline from A to B. The actors all brought it. Phenomenal. You're not bored for not even 5 minutes of this movie. I'll tell you right now. It's good. So there you go. I highly recommend it. Go check it out. Come back in the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought. Try not to spoil it. Just tell me if you liked it. Whatever the hell in the comment sections. Be respectful, guys. Okay, put that spoiler thing there. Wow. You know, what can I say? Gran Torino. Like I was saying earlier, it's probably one of the best 10 films I've seen in the last decade or so. One of Clint Eastwood's best. Cast is phenomenal. The way the movie starts off, you think it's going to be one particular. You think it's going to deal with all like gangsters and like, you know, an old guy kind of like going after all the gangsters and all this crap and shit. But there's actually meaning to the story or to the movie. He loses his wife at the beginning of the film. Kind of like not close to any of his kids. He kind of kept himself distant. So they're under his skin, so you kind of like build up a wedge against him, and it always seems like they're after his house and his money. They want to push him out the door like the next door neighbor, take his crap for themselves, and spend it. So he kind of has a little bit of resentment towards them. There's one scene that, my God, they're trying to be nice to him, and they're trying to present him here. You know what? You're getting kind of old. Maybe you need to go to a retirement home because we can't do it for you, and you can't take care of yourself. And that sets him the hell off. I'll tell you right now. I haven't seen like that's like my grandfather. I'm telling you right now. Like you think old people don't know what the hell they're doing? They know exactly what they're doing. And some people are sharper than what the hell we are, right? But anyways, there's once and they got him a gift for his birthday, a big ass telephone with big ass numbers on it, and that set him off, and he throws them right out. It is the best, and he has the kind of like grandkids, or like of his like his. There's the old teenage daughter that likes his car, and he's like, "Nah, you know what? Don't even dare look at this car, or whatever. Get the hell out of here," right? So he has a little resentment, so he's kind of like cold towards them. Lost his wife, a little bit miserable, that hates to admit it. He's a tough as nails kind of dude. He worked for the Ford plant, likes to keep his shit in order, doesn't like anybody to step on his lawn. I'm telling you, he says it several times, "Get off my lawn." Uh, he's prejudiced, biased, and a little bit racist, or I would say racist towards the Asian community. Doesn't like black people as well because of what they're known to do and bring all the gangs and drugs and all this shit. The Latino, same thing. Anything gang related doesn't like. So he lives in a area that's kind of getting run down. Houses are falling apart. Immigrants, Asians, you name it, the works don't give a shit that he feels that the world's going to shits around him. Takes care of his. Meets the neighbors next door, which he doesn't want to have anything to do about whatever. He just that kind of person. Sits on the front, drinks his beer from a cooler, and has his dog. That's all he cares about. There's a young priest that befriends him during his wife's wake or funeral thing at the beginning. And he's like, "Dude, you're only like 12 years old. You're going to tell me what I should do? Why the hell should I?" He becomes friends with him later, but he gives him the cold shoulder and the attitude. I'm telling you, even to a priest, right? But the next door neighbors doesn't want to have anything to do with him. He ends up being forced to talk to them because this kid's cousin, who's in a gang, wants to recruit him. This kid's a bookworm nerd. He wants to go on his thing, just get an education and stay, on the narrow good path so he can get out of here. Just like his sister, who has a mouth, which is hilarious. Tougher than he is. They're yelling at each other. It reminded me at home, trust me. Minus the Asian part, right? Greeks yell as loud, especially when your mother gets on your case. His initiation, because he didn't want to be a part of this gang from his cousin, was to steal Clint Eastwood's character's Gran Torino. That's why it's called Gran Torino. So as a result, things go bad. He gets his shotgun, gets away. Doesn't find out it's this kid until he goes next day to Clint Eastwood's door and tells him, "Listen, dude, it was me who tried to break your thing. I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you. A, B, C, and D." And that kind of sets him off, right? And he's like, "Get off my lawn," whatever kind of thing. And then the very next day, the mother comes over with the grandmother saying, "You dishonored the family. You got to do something for this guy." So that's when he gets him to do chores and, really works him in, and he gets to know him through all these little things, from counting all the leaves or the branches on the damn thing. It was, oh my God, like shit that he made that kid do, from gardening in the back. Slowly gets to know him and, and understands. He lost his father, the Asian kid next door in the family, so they're living there by themselves, trying to make ends meet. He goes over, he helps him fix him, he gets to know him, and then of course this gangster cousin wouldn't let him alone, decides to go after the daughter, who was seen with this white guy on the street, which is played by Clint Eastwood's son. That's who it is, that little punk. I got it. There you go. That's who it is. There's two black guys that are on the street as well, causing trouble for him and stuff, and he kind of runs for his life, which is hilarious. And then you have Clint Eastwood drive by in his car, dude. Oh my God, guys, the racist remarks that comes out of his mouth. What are you two spooks doing there? And he pulls his hand like a gun to get him. Like, he has balls. Film is, like I'd say, very sensitive materials that everybody might be offended, especially if you're Asian, black, Latino, whatever. He is a white person, an old son of a bitch, let's just say that. Not okay in any way, but for this film, it had to be done because it progresses the storyline. Trust me, he did it in a well-respected way. I had Asian friends who watched this and they love this film as well. So relax, calm your horses down there. But anyways, he gets to know him, whatever. They end up taking the daughter, his neighbors, the late girl. They end up attacking her. I think the sexually attacked or raped her or something, and she's all beaten up and all that shit. Clint Eastwood loses his shit. Gets his gun. There was a drive-by shooting as well that they shoot up the whole place, and Clint Eastwood goes, "Yeah, I'll fix you fuckers." Pardon my language, guys. You know, um, he ends up going over there, and he's carrying a lighter, right? And there, he knows that he's spitting up blood too. By the way, he's slowly dying. He's keeping it a secret, but they're finding out. The Asians next door, the neighbors, the son and the daughter know that he's going. So he goes, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out with a bang and I'm going to make it worthwhile, right? So what he does, this is the cool part, he goes over to these gangster places. He beats the shit out of them, and then he literally doesn't take a gun. You think, there's one point you think he's loading up his gun to go shoot them up and whatever the crap, but he goes, no. He wants all these criminals to leave this kid alone that he's been mentoring for the last little while and show him, how to live as a man and protect his family. The only way to get rid of these kids is actually for them to end up bars. So behind bars, prison. So he goes over this place and then they light him up. Unfortunately, that's the big spoiler. They shoot him up. He dies just holding a lighter. They get all arrested and tossed out. Then, this is the other cool part, which kind of brought a tear to my face. So everybody's sad. He went out like that way, whatever, even the family. So now they're at his funeral and now they're going to his house, which was the damn coolest part because, I kind of felt you'll get the progression of the film, So they go there and they're reading his will. So he's leaving everything left, right, and center except his car. He gave the car to the Asian kid, the Gran Torino. His family was so pissed off. I loved every single minute of it. Bitterness, the money, the house and stuff, I think he donated it. Something like that. So they literally got shit because of their attitude and shit, the way they treat him. Goes, yeah, I'll fix you guys. So the kid gets the Gran Torino, whatever. And there's one cool scene, guys, which he's teaching the Asian kid to, let me get his real name. I don't want to keep on calling him Thao. His name is Thao. He takes Thao to the barbershop to get a haircut, right? And Clint Eastwood's talking with the barber, and Clint Eastwood's character is Polish. So he hears these two guys go, hey, you Polak this, you Polak. So they're basically ribbing each other, using, stereotypes and racial names and all that crap. And he's teaching the kid how to come in and kind of like say something so people can take you serious, but don't offend anybody. And he comes in and he starts swearing and calls him a prick and all this stuff. That scene alone, I'm laughing. It's funny. You got to see it because you're watching the progression of Clint Eastwood's character in Thao all the way right to the end. He's even trying to find him a job at a construction site, teaching him how to use tools and stuff. Trust me, he's befriending this kid, like he's taking him on as his own son while being protective and kind of breaking down the racial stereotypes and stuff that he's kind of grown to know as a young guy to his age. With all the other people, he kind of helped build a community around them and help him out, showed him a man, and that's how the movie ends and stuff. But my God, I didn't do it justice. You have to watch it from beginning to end. Clint Eastwood brought it. All the actors brought it. I'm telling you, you're thinking it's one kind of movie, and then it ends up being another movie with some serious matters and storyline underneath it. And it helps kind of give you an understanding of where the world is now or at. And it's perfect now. You could see the whole world's going to shits, especially in the States with Trump and all that crap. But anyways, I want to bring politics in it. So that's why I highly recommend you check this out for yourself. So there you go. That is my movie recommendation video right here on the Movie Throne. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Go check it out for yourself. Come back in the comment sections. Let me know. Keep it spoiler free so you don't ruin it for anybody else who decides to click on the video and watch it either completely or halfway. Then come back. Keep it thing. Tell me what you thought. Did you agree with me? Not agree with me? Where does this rank? Do you think it is a top 10 movie in the last decade or so? let the king know. So like always, guys, check out my other content. Like, share, and subscribe. Stay off the king's throne. I will see you here with another movie review down the road. Take it easy.